Oh no, did I make... Oh, I did. Okay, good. I was oh-knowing because I thought I made OBS visual, but it's not because I could see right through it. You know what I'm talking about? I hope y'all have not seen this
Hold
video.
on one second. Hold on a moment right here. What's happening? Hello,
Because
hello, hello.
obviously these are terrible. This is terrible when this happens. There's just like, you'll see new true crime channels popping up all over the place because of FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act. It's like the news, like back when they just started only showing like the bad things that happen, except now it's all on YouTube, and channels are just popping up all over the place because people are into the horrible things that happen in this world. I don't know why that is, but I'm one of those people who is very intrigued by just the worst parts of life. I don't know why that is. I talked to my therapist about it. She's like, yeah, you probably don't want to fall asleep listening to that stuff, but you know, sometimes it's a good release or whatever. And in Stoicism, they say, well, at least Epictetus believed you should constantly be around or be aware of death, because it's something that happens to everyone we love, all the animals we love, and ourselves. That is one of the only absolutes, is that you will die. Hopefully not like this, though. I was gonna say this one's not so bad compared to others, but it really is. Like, I can't imagine being just a small girl. I'm so glad I'm a dude sometimes. All the time. If I was a girl, man, I'd have fallen into that OnlyFans. I'd probably have. It would be a different story.
Hello.
I don't know. I can't say that because I would have grown up differently with different stratagems for life. I just want to check and see that everything is... Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, someone...
How's it going?
It's going great. Are we ready? What's going on? Is this gonna actually happen?
Oh, about that, I kind of have some bad news.
Oh Jesus! What?
I have to reschedule. It's okay. You can. I'm having tech issues. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Gosh, I can't even imagine how like stressed you probably looked. Okay, I was joking. It was a joke. All right, let's get started. I also have the link for you.
Okay. All right, I'm starting it.
My name is Lisa Reeves.
Oh shit! It's so loud.
It is insanely loud.
Good lord, he is like the perfect example of a frat.
Do you understand? You understand that? Okay. Today's date is
Holy
May
moly.
3rd, 2010. The current time is.
I
Alright, your first name is George.
Yes.
G-E-O-R.
Yes.
It's a Christmas miracle that we have JCS reacts again.
I did it.
I'm sad that it's gonna end soon.
Damn, they just.
Why?
Damn, they arrested the shit out of him. Trigger warning: this guy's voice is hella annoying. I don't know what that means.
Why do you guys say it? Why do you guys come in and say
Trigger
you
young,
were searching for
annoying
an assault?
voices. Not eyes, it's sly.
Someone came in this
I
morning.
never mentioned to you anything. Just told you we're investigating something.
It's been investigating stuff.
Do you want me to call anybody for your door?
It's an interesting concept to think of how you might respond to what would normally be an easy question, especially during a circumstance where it becomes a terrifying dilemma. We ask that you contemplate this question while you put yourself in George's position, but not before you grasp the context of what brought him to this moment. It begins with 22-year...
Sorry to interrupt, but did the updates update? Like, did it happen automatically, or do I have to buy it? Because I don't have any money. It's very sad if so. And it looks like... Oh! No. Yeah, it looks like... Because I saw something where there were walls. Maybe it was just a tease. They talk about updating this game, but they don't.
Year-old sports scholar Yardley Love, a star lacrosse player at the University of Virginia. She is captured in this photograph playing in the second-to-last game of the season, clearly aware of the obstacles that lie in front of her, yet continuing to move forward, which is the circumstantial detail that turned this picture into a symbol for the globally recognized organization that would be founded in her memory. This would be the last photograph taken that day, capturing Yardley's last embrace with her head coach Julie Myers. Both were unaware this exact moment would soon be on the national front pages.
I like this.
On May 3rd, 2010, at roughly 2:15 a.m., Yardley's roommate returned from a night out to their off-campus apartment. Upon entering, she saw that Yardley's bedroom had been broken into, at which point she rushed inside to find her unresponsive on the mattress. She had blood coming out of her nose and severe bruising across the right side of her face. But the most alarming thing was that she wasn't waking up. Her friend called 911, who instantly guided her through the steps of CPR, which was then taken over by paramedics who arrived on the scene 4 minutes later. But their attempts at revival were unsuccessful, and Yardley was pronounced dead at exactly 2:47 a.m. At 2:53 that same morning, criminal investigator Lisa Reeves woke up to a phone call from the sheriff's office. By 2:59, she had arrived at Yardley's apartment leading the investigation, and by 3:50, confirmed that she had her first person of interest, which was 22-year-old George Hughley V, Yardley's ex-boyfriend, and the next several hours were spent gathering information before she knocked at his front door. She found out that George was a fifth-generation heir to a very wealthy American family, whose roots lay in lumber dating back to the 1900s. He was educated at Landon Prep, a prestigious all-boys private school in Bethesda, Maryland, with annual tuition fees of up to $50,000. George was the star player of the lacrosse team and became an All-American athlete. This led to a full scholarship at the University of Virginia, where he remained a key player in the starting lineup, and where he would also meet, then spark a romance with fellow lacrosse player Yardley Love. They dated for almost 2 years.
Hughley and Love's relationship was an on-again, off-again one, where they cheated on each other throughout and that tempers flared both ways.
What was going on with these two young people? What may have led someone to do what happened? These are just a completely unbelievable set of facts.
Everybody watched the relationship. People were really troubled by it. They were scared for her. Nobody knew what to do.
Yardley ended the relationship in 2010, just 2 weeks before graduation. 9 days later, she was found dead in her bedroom, and that same morning, George Hughley would hear a knock at his front door. He opened to Detective Lisa Reeves, who was dressed in civilian clothing. She introduced herself as a police officer, but mentioned nothing of the crime. She simply stated that she was conducting an investigation that could benefit from his presence at the sheriff's office. George's response was to lethargically put on his flip-flops, then walk over to the passenger...
Like, this guy. Completely numb to the world. I was gonna say, like, I envy him. And I don't now, because he's in prison for a long time, I think. He's a character.
Side door of her unmarked police car and let himself in. Somewhat bewildered, Lisa drove them to the police station a few minutes away without talking. It was around then when she noticed bruised...
Okay, I gotta pause it here and say, first...
I still don't understand this. So he was drunk when he went over to her house. When he left, she might have... I think she was still alive, but she was fading. I think. But... oh my goodness. I don't understand his mens rea. His state of mind. Like, what is he trying to do on the way over there? Because he's not speaking. He just gets in the car and is like, let's go. What's his strategy? He doesn't know that she's passed. He must be just I think he's completely clueless to the whole world. Like, he thinks, yeah, I broke into Yardley's house. He kicked her freaking door down. Yeah, that would be terrifying. He probably thinks he's in trouble for that. But it sounds like in the interview he genuinely forgot that. I think he is one of the dumbest people alive. And you will see why. I'll stop pausing it so much.
Pause. It's 5 minutes in. I mean,
5
this is
minutes.
fine.
Okay, 4 minutes and 57 seconds.
Okay, across the board, immediately, like, super rich kid. Like, I feel like what you're seeing here is a sense of entitlement that is overwhelmingly powerful as a rich lacrosse kid possibly doesn't even recognize that he could be implicated in this crime.
Yes.
Or even if he is, doesn't care.
Yeah.
Using on his knuckles and cuts on his forearm, at which point George was no longer a person of interest. He was the prime suspect.
Yeah, he has no idea that he's even in trouble. He's just gonna go and talk to them and straighten things out, let them know.
Did you say you did want water?
And then hit the road.
I know I introduced myself to you at your house, but my name is Lisa Reeves. Today's date is May the 3rd, 2010. The current time is, I can't tell them that, 7:52.
My drama papers too.
What's that?
My drama papers still right now.
All right, your first name is
do
George.
like mountains, don't they?
Right away, you'll come to
They live
notice
in the
that
mountains.
George is oblivious to the gravity of the situation, and it would be very safe to assume that he
No
at
one
this
asked,
moment is
though.
unaware that Yardley has died. He seems to
Smile
believe that
kicked
he's
him
in
out.
as much trouble as he would be sitting in the principal's office, perhaps for getting in a fight at class or on the lacrosse field. And the sooner he provides
Benedict
a sanitized version of
Cumberbatch.
the truth, the sooner he'll get to go home. This, of course, ties in perfectly with the interrogator's opening strategy, which we've labeled warmth for the sake of this video. She will downplay the severity of his situation to a considerable degree.
I wonder what happened at JCS. I think they probably have like 3 or 4 different channels now. Probably some of the stuff we're watching or some of the newer stuff that we watch is JCS. Well, the same people, I would think. Sorry.
While maintaining a friendly temperament with a sympathetic undertone, she needs the suspect to feel safe and secure for the time being. As the less cautious he is, the more information he's likely to give away. Then as soon as he locks himself into one particular storyline, the pressure can commence, which often leads to a suspect being laden with panic and contradictions.
I'm going to pause again and say that there ain't no way this dude was writing his own drama paper. Rich and spoiled kids like this always got some nerd that they're paying like a couple $100 write their paper for them. Okay, no shot. Sorry.
Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have
Stop
the right to
doing a
talk to
pause
lawyer
counter.
before questioning. You have
Chat.
one present during questioning. If you cannot,
Oh, your
afford a
chat's
lawyer,
doing it
one will
too?
be provided for you.
What?
And if you're willing to talk to us now, you're going to start talking to you.
They're not supposed to go
George
to
has 2 options here. Option 1 is to remain silent, then allow his
guess I
father to
don't
get him
know
the
the
most expensive
mechanics of
attorneys
the
in the country.
game.
He would then have
True.
years to examine the evidence, evaluate the many options available, and then construct the most self-preserving storyline with world-renowned experts in criminal
I didn't mean
defense
for
before
the
they present it to a jury. Unfortunately for
to just-
George, he takes option 2. But before he does, rewatch the
did not
flawlessly reassuring
mean for
manner in
them
which he's given the final piece of the Miranda warning.
Like they did.
And if you're willing to talk to us now, you have the right to stop talking any time.
Okay, I gotta pause again. Pause counter 3. I don't care. This level of care and consideration from a police officer or detective to the prime suspect on a murder case is never afforded. Okay, it is unimaginably considerate, and I assume it is because the person is rich. Okay, straight up, rich white dude. I've never seen it. Either this cop is literally like running for historically best cop of the year award for every fucking year, or this dude is just straight up like, I mean, he's getting considerations, accommodations that I've never seen.
Hassan.
Awesome.
What?
Okay, this is. I'm gonna start pausing so I can respond to you.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's a tactic to get them to, you know, say certain things and trap them into a certain storyline.
No,
right?
I understand that for sure, but ultimately a big part of like developing a case in many instances, regardless of the warmth that they're demonstrating, is by trying to get them to talk. And oftentimes, like cops will do the, oh, we can get an attorney for you, but never the second part where it's like, oh, we're gonna be, I'm gonna be extra considerate and tell you like we don't have to talk to you if you say you need your lawyer. How many times have you and myself separately, independently, watched JCS videos where cops will literally be like, oh yeah, you want a lawyer? Okay, no, all right, well, you still should talk to us. You still should talk to us. You still should talk to us. I've seen so much rougher interrogation conditions, even if they are also being positive and warm towards the suspect. I've seen infinitely worse structured interrogations where they just basically, like, the suspect will ask for a lawyer and they'll still continue asking questions. Anyway,
white
but
privilege.
maybe you're right.
White and rich.
Maybe you're right. Let's
So you're
oh, sorry.
sitting for there, but do you understand?
Okay, that counts as a pause.
No, it doesn't.
And are willing to talk to us. And the time now is 7:53. All right. Let's kind of start. I'm going to kind of ask you some questions, and like I said, we'll explain things a little bit later. Tell me about your day yesterday.
Played golf. My
Is this
parents
Florida?
is a father-son.
Man, so many
And
animals.
then I went to dinner with my dad and some buddies. And then,
Oh god, this guy sounds like such a douche. Oh god, I hate him. I already hate him so much.
What?
And
These animals.
Who's Yardley?
Yardley is my
This guy.
former girlfriend.
Okay.
He's a giant
That's
child.
just one about, which I understand. But
Let's make him
George has
special.
now initiated the investigative subject matter himself. It's the perfect opening scenario for the interrogator because she's given nothing away, making it more likely for him to reveal details that will contradict the evidence.
when I went over to talk to Yardley,
He sounds like Blastoise. I can't unhear it.
No, he doesn't. That's an insult to Blau.
He sounds like this sometimes. He's such a
No, this does not sound like Blau.
yes. Blau literally sounds like this sometimes. Where he's like, oh, I can't wait to hit the POW.
And
Yardley
that's what
slept
he's
with
doing,
another
like his
lacrosse
surfer
player from
boy
North
voice.
Carolina the week before, which is what he just referred to.
Take it away.
She was already like, oh, just freaking out. Like, you can't go, and I was like, I'm like just trying to talk to you.
But
The
he's
investigation
strong-minded.
team obviously had no way of knowing this, and George has now confessed to the crime of second-degree trespass. More importantly, however, he's just confessed to initiating the supposed confrontation. He
Yeah, what
now
the
can't
fuck?
say that he was
It's
set
like
up for
I broke into my girlfriend, my dead girlfriend's house.
And the critical fact he can actually recognize and remember this will be used against him repeatedly in the future.
That's insane.
And like, she like started being like getting like all like, like really like defensive. She was
So I
already,
fucking
like,
killed
on the
her.
defensive edge.
It was
Yeah,
crazy.
like-
And like I was like,
Totally.
listen, I'm not here to like, I'm just here to talk to you.
Just here
And
to talk.
she like got all like
Just here to talk.
sat up, like her bed's against the wall, like if it was in this corner.
Admitting yourself.
She was like up against the wall, and I was like we were sitting there talking, and like she started being like
started being like-
getting,
Okay, we need a
like,
light
all
counter.
aggressive.
Okay, it's a million already.
After this, and so I was like, all right, like chill out, like and shook her a little bit.
So just to recount what George said over the last 47 seconds, Yardley was defensive. While being in a defensive state, she backed up against the wall.
And
She
I
then
shook
became
her a
aggressive.
little bit.
George's response to this supposed aggression was to initiate physical contact.
And she started being like freaking out, and I was like, listen, I'm not like here to do anything. I'm here to talk to you.
What the fuck?
She started freaking out because I kicked her door down and it was shaking her because I wanted to just talk to her. I can imagine what kind of stuff this guy was saying. Just want to talk to you. That's not what he was saying, but he was saying drunk, angry lacrosse player kicks down your door. You're this little... I guess she was a lacrosse player too, so she was kind of tough. But, jeez, this guy. I just want to talk to you, so I shook her a little. And, yeah, he's just really dumb.
Why would you think that?
That's ensued in the past week. And
I just want to talk to you.
Like, and like sort of like being like, no, like hitting her head like.
Look at what he's
stop.
doing.
Like, she's in the corner. I was sitting on the bed. I was like,
Look at what he's doing. He's a freaking idiot. Because he thinks he catches himself being like, I should not be banging my head on the wall. Because it's going to be hard to convince anyone, this lady, that she banged her head on the wall herself. And so she's injured. Like, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. What?
stop. Like, I was like, we already like, what the hell? Like, you're just gonna talk.
So let's go back
Oh,
to
I
a minute
hate
and
him
dissect
so
what actually
much.
just happened there.
Good.
And
Me
so
too.
I was like, all right, like, chill out, like, and shook her a little bit.
He will now
Yeah.
say the words, and she started being
Shook
like,
her a little
then
bit.
simultaneously mimic a body colliding with the wall. He will then stop himself mid-thought and subtly modify the detail.
And she started being like freaking out, and I was like, listen.
And she
And she started being like freaking out.
Oh, good
He goes
catch.
from illustrating Yardley hitting the wall to, as he states, freaking out.
And
He seems to realize mid-sentence this isn't the best way to
Big
explain
war.
her injuries, so he changes the detail to buy himself time.
And she started being like freaking out, and I was like, listen, I'm not like here to do anything. I'm here to talk to you.
We've
He
got
carefully shifts the topic from Yardley to himself and keeps it there for
The
8
humans
seconds
against
before
the
attempting
humans
to
against the
re-explain what
humans,
occurred in a
looks
more
like.
self-preserving manner.
Wait,
And she was
yeah.
like, and like sort of like,
Why are they
like,
fighting each
no,
other?
like hitting her head, like.
No jury on the planet will believe that Yardley was voluntarily slamming
No
her head
loyalty.
against the wall with enough force to
Oh, the
cause fatal
king.
brain damage. All George has done here is give away the fact that
Yeah.
he knows Yardley has sustained some type
Okay,
of
so
head
we got
injury, and now lied on
By the way,
record about
a
how it was
brilliant,
inflicted.
brilliant detective work, just letting this idiot speak. I mean, actually.
And like, it was not at
Almost
all
even,
like a
but we
good
need a little
conversation.
help.
because,
Oh, yeah?
She was already like.
Because I was slamming her head against the wall.
See me there.
We need to,
What happened next?
What happened next? And she just kept hitting her head
here.
against the wall while she was sitting on the
Is
bed.
it a
and I was, like,
dwarf?
I grabbed her and I shook her.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
is.
Stop. Like, we need to, like, and looked at her. I was like,
they
we need to,
didn't
like,
immediately
talk
start
about this,
killing
like,
each other.
I mean, I was holding her arms and stuff, but like, I never struck her. I never like,
What?
hit her like in the face.
What the f- why is he saying that?
She was
He
so,
doesn't
like,
know that she's passed.
So like, oh, I mean, what's the word?
A fish on water.
Like, you know, like flop.
This motherfucker.
What is he saying?
This motherfucker has.
He's insane.
This is like levels of self-report that I have never seen before. He just straight up, like, sometimes we'll watch a psychopath get interviewed by a detective and interrogated by a detective. And I mean an interview because they want the detective to know what they did. They're proud of it. This guy is just so
What a beautiful
profoundly
cove.
stupid that he basically
put a
said he
island.
did the murder and then thought he could get away with it by saying,
A
I just
jungle
thought the
island.
visor off and I definitely didn't do the murder. Insane. Incredible.
That's gonna be
Also,
too
one other thing I was going to say is this motherfucker's never written
guy.
an essay in general. He can't even craft 3 sentences together without tagging on like 18 likes. He doesn't know she's dead. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm saying like he basically is like self-reporting that an assault.
definitely
He
does not
assaulted
know
his
that she is
ex-girlfriend. He
passed.
said former
But
girlfriend.
yeah.
Doesn't matter that he's not aware that she's dead. What matters is that he's aware that he's being called into questioning because of an
By
assault charge, most
detectives.
likely. Okay?
If he doesn't know that she's dead, like is
I don't think he would know what a homicide detective is. I think if she was like, I'm a homicide detective and I'm interrogating you, which he should know already, but I don't think she could come out and just say that, and I don't think that would resonate with him. I think he'd be like, okay, what do you want to know about Yardley? Because I just wanted to talk.
she having a seizure? Is that why she's like? Because the way he's like
Don't,
describing her
Valky,
as like
don't.
hitting her head against the wall herself and flopping, like he was
because
making
he's
like
an
the arm
idiot.
movements.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows she's dead
No, he doesn't.
or like the medical
Yeah, how do you-
examiner
did they
has
say
declared
that?
her dead or not. I don't think the detective has said anything
wanted
yet. No,
to,
the detective has said nothing so far. So I don't think she
Yeah,
said
he's
that.
kind of doing all the work. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean he's carrying the burden here because, like I said, profoundly privileged and most likely has never been in any real trouble, or if he got into trouble at school or whatever, his parents have probably been able to get him out of it. So he doesn't understand the consequences of his actions right now.
This one creates like a bunch of annoying little swords and things that kill your dudes.
I'm not here to like fight with you.
I don't
or
like
do
them.
anything. Like,
But
here
I
to
will
talk
put
to you.
them over here with a
she's
bunch
like,
of good
no,
stuff.
Get away from me.
Oh my gosh.
So like all this stuff. And I was like, all right, like fine, like, but like I want to talk to you after all
I want
that.
to talk to you.
And like I was like a little.
Yeah, the
bit
detective is
persistent.
applying a
Because of the
technique called "let him cook."
You know, my former girlfriend who.
Don't fake
we
laugh,
started out last
Valkyrie.
week, you know, and I was like, all right, like, well, so we were like talking over there.
You want to
And-
talk.
I mean, somehow we ended up somehow resting her on the floor. And I was just like, stop! I just like,
Stop hitting
and I was
yourself.
holding her.
I was holding her. I was a little bit persistent. I was wrestling her on the floor.
He
All
doesn't
further
know.
evidence that designates George as the aggressor. He's completely shut down his ability to argue any sort of self-defense claim.
And then the conversation, I could tell, was just like, it was not going anywhere, and
We're
nothing
just
was
gonna
happening.
talk.
And
Go get past this by
she
talking.
like went back to bed, and I left.
Right.
Oh, candies. Candy biome.
Phase 1 is now complete.
Dumb.
The suspect has unknowingly locked himself into a storyline that will put him away for a very long time.
He's phasing up
the
right
risk
now.
of him shutting down or requesting a lawyer is no longer a primary concern. So the interrogator will now increase the
The
pressure.
island
She will confront him on
jungle.
certain elements that she pretended to overlook before. And the ideal scenario is to cause just enough panic so that he backpedals on previous statements and contradicts himself.
All right, so you go over there.
Trees.
Knock on the door.
The north
The front door's
west
open.
side is gonna have
The
some
room door was closed.
clients.
I knocked like.
There's no northwest side of this
she
island.
heard me open the door and went in
All right. Went in where?
to her room,
All right, straight to her bedroom.
straight to her bedroom.
Right.
I mean,
How'd you get through the door?
her door, or the
Mhm.
front door.
Her door.
So, I wish I could say the R word.
Actually, it might have been locked.
Mm-hmm. It was.
What?
Oh God.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
What? Why?
Actually,
What is he
To
doing?
be honest with you,
Yeah,
Up in the
yeah,
90s.
He's being honest, I
I
guess.
used to go
I think
through
I
the R
probably-
word all the time,
you punched a hole through the door.
Pretty sure actually now.
but not
that I used to have that,
actual
What?
Why'd you do that?
folks.
Yeah. Why?
Well, I
What
guess,
was she doing?
yeah, when I,
Friends.
once I was in her room,
And idiots.
she was like very like, you know.
Calling someone an
like,
idiot.
Like, I don't want to talk to you.
Duh.
Probably
And
hurts
she's very like.
people.
Your
just-
Honor, the vibes were permanently
wonder-
fucked.
I wonder why she was on edge.
Your Honor, you don't understand. I needed to fucking resuscitate the vibes. Like,
I
it
just
was
wanted
bad.
to talk.
Why'd you punch
Just
her?
want to talk to you.
A very unusual time to interrupt a suspect
Am I
in such a contentious
killing
manner.
him when
He
I
was
do
giving
that?
away self-incriminating information that could
Yeah,
be
the
used to
second
establish
detective
a motive.
sucks.
He was doing exactly what the lead investigator wanted. But Detective Ed has now stopped him in his tracks. It's
Look
a
at her
reckless
face.
maneuver at this point in the interrogation,
Oof.
which
Yeah.
Detective Reeves is no doubt
Big
conveying at this moment through nonverbal communication. She now has to let the suspect
They're doing JCS Reacts is so good. They're so good that they're doing reacts on the detective's the detective's body language too. But he's right. They're right. They've done so many of these that they're just like they're professionals at this point.
The other detective looks so disappointed.
Yeah.
Crabs,
No, a
dude.
typical man just fucking barging in on the convo and wanting to have his voice be heard. You know, pausing the conversation, you could say. Anyway.
Respond as to not undermine their
This is
position.
the key point where I asked this question, because it was the most
Because I
important.
want to talk to her.
How did I not ask that question?
Detective
I
Reeves
don't-
will now
I'm
bring his
doing
guard
yard
back down
labor.
through a reassuring tone
What's his name?
and
His
gently
voice.
guide his train of thought back to his grievances with the victim. She pulls this off in 3 questions.
All right, we'll continue on. That's fine, continue on. So you're talking to her, she doesn't want to talk to you.
That is a slap in the face to her partner. Just like, just disregard. Just keep talking.
I mean, and we talked.
Not a slap in the
like,
face,
there was
but
parts where we
she's
were
taking care of
talking, and then,
business.
like,
You know what you're talking about?
I mean, about so.
I keep pausing. I need to see if anybody's watching this. That way I can respond to any... No. Okay, good. What was I gonna say? Shoot, I forgot. Sometimes I feel a little sexist because I think that male detectives get just better results in general, and that a lot of the female detectives, I don't know, they just seem not nearly as effective. But this one she's good. She knows what she's doing. And the one, oh gosh, what's his name? The police officer who got caught messaging like 13-year-olds. That detective was a woman and she was really good. So, no, not all the time. But I do feel like for like these hardened criminal dudes, oh my gosh. What is this giant man doing? Is he the giant fella? Like you want a man in there. That's the sexist part of me saying that. That person is, yeah, okay, he's got a mushroom. How'd you get that? It just seems like the vibe. We're talking about vibes. With males against males. There's just more. I don't know. Because I've been watching a couple interrogations where these women detectives really did a bad job. Because they just like lock on, or well, they locked on to the first guy so hard, and it was so obvious. But as I was saying that out loud, I was remembering all the good female detectives. So I changed my mind on that. I think probably there are more better male detectives just because of how things played out. You know, patriarchal society, men get more respect. Just in general, it's just how it is. It may not be like that forever. Whenever might, strength isn't as I don't know, when computers run the world. I don't know though. Men and women are different. That's for sure. I like how Winston Churchill's wife, she was talking to a street sweeper or a chimney sweep or something. He was like, oh, that man used to be in love with me, da-da-da. And she's like, you could have been the husband or the wife to a street sweeper. And she was like, oh no, my dear, if I married him, he'd be prime minister right now. Ha! I believe it. No, not really. Ain't nothing wrong with sweeping the streets, though. It's good, honest work. All that means is that it's work that you do and you feel tired afterwards and you feel good about it. Let's go back to this guy, George Hughley. This definitely sounds like a George. No, I just want to talk.
Many different things.
Okay. Like what?
Like what she did last week.
Mm-hmm.
Like went to Carolina. She went to Carolina and hooked up with someone Sunday when we were still trying to figure out things. And I was over
so
there.
They
like,
weren't together.
To talk, I was like, this is like.
He even gave the motive. That's insane. He's like, that's like my motive. Your Honor, she cheated on me. The vibes were fucked.
Like how upset I was
right, though.
like through emails, like how upset I was like about what she did. And so I was like, and I sat on the edge of it. I was like, listen, like I want to talk to you. Like what you did was bullshit. Like that's not like okay. And I was just like, and she was like,
what you did was bullshit. That's
like,
not
she's like,
okay.
You know, sort of.
She was like, and I was like,
pushing everything that she did to the back burner and like talking about like you know like trying to like put everything that she did like wasn't important.
Say the back burner.
It kept going to the point where she like I was like, listen, like Jordan, like we have to figure like out what's going on. And she was like, I'm about talking to you. And then she like pushed me, like, get out of here, like go. And I was like,
this whole time he is just describing an obvious and blatant break-in. She's telling him to leave. He's saying no. He's, what do you call that? Not leaving after he kicks down her door. And he's sitting there arguing it like, yeah, of course. We had to talk about this. Because she did something with some dude. And we had to talk about it, obviously. Like, it's the only path. Like, of course. What else was I gonna do? Like, come on. And he's describing, and he doesn't have anything going off in his head like, hey, what am I doing? This is a crime. She wanted me to leave, and she was telling me to leave, and I didn't leave, and it was her apartment. And she was like a fish out of water. This man,
and like I was like,
an idiot.
Be like, we have to talk. Like,
we have to talk.
Yeah, like,
when you're doing that, what are you holding on her?
On
her arms like they up here?
Like shoulders, yeah.
Shoulders.
Like, come on, like, you know, and that's when she was like, wiggle and get away and like, you know, like hide get in the corner, like really like.
What the fuck?
Like defensively almost.
Even his like. The way he's describing it, like he would still get punishment for assault at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere.
For much more than that. For breaking and entering, like aggravated. What do you call it? It's not burglary. It's. Who's whining? Breaking and entering, aggravated assault. Yeah, it's definitely some kind of aggravated assault because you go into her house, locked door, you break in, she tells you to leave, and he's just telling all this to the detective like, did one of those commenters said, dude needs a calm mind. I think he has the calmest mind on earth, honestly.
We were like wrestling, and we stood up, and I
we were wrestling, and I tossed her.
Tossed her onto the bed.
Did you touch her neck area at all? Did you choke her at one point?
Did you
Oh
choke
my
her?
God.
May have grabbed her.
Oh
a
my
little
God.
in the neck,
Oh,
and we
come,
were,
oh,
like-
dude.
But I never like strangled her.
Okay.
But I mean,
I shouldn't laugh.
during the whole like commotion, you know, like I might have grabbed her neck, but I never was like
been
strangling her.
desensitized.
More detail that was unknown to the investigation. The fact that he grabbed her neck can now be used as evidence.
Ooh,
It paints a more
mouse
frightening
came
picture
from
of the incident with relation to the
mice.
suspect's
He is
aggression
going
toward
to
the
super
victim.
jail.
This was an
Oh my
extremely
God.
damaging-
Actually, I think, are they rats? Yeah, they're rats. See? And they carry the plague. When villages get attacked, they'll demolish the houses and they'll turn into these black, burnt out houses. But I think I cleaned them all. You can clean them with the sponge over here. You know, you want it to look nice. Your world box. Your world in a box. And I really don't like the soil erosion, the biome overgrowth, how it fights with each other too. Because then it just ends up killing the trees over and over and over. Because it'll go from enchanted biome to grass biome. And then it'll just go back and forth and kill all the trees like I'm doing right now. Okay. Not everything can be enchanted, my friends. Sometimes you just have grass. It's always greener, though, right over here. Alright, back to George.
Revelation for
Super
George's
jail.
defense.
He's
The
so
discussion
dumb.
moves to the moment he left, and George admits that he took Yardley's laptop.
Why'd you grab her laptop?
What?
Because I was so pissed that she wouldn't talk to me. I was
Oh
like,
my
I don't
god.
know. I like took it almost as like collateral, I guess.
Because I
don't
was
know.
so
It's
pissed.
not.
His dad's lumber
reasonable
yard did
logic,
not produce
but-
enough wood to get this guy out of jail. I can tell you that.
Did you take anything
There's
else?
no
besides the
shot.
laptop? Nothing.
No.
He stole her laptop? What
So
the
when,
fuck?
Okay.
when you left out of there, I mean, you saw that she was bleeding on her nose.
She's now about to ask a question with the same implication for a second time. Notice what occurred the first time.
Did you go back and check on her at
Oh,
any point?
humans are
No, I
dumb.
did not.
Did you try to call rescue or anything to make sure she's alright?
No, I did not.
Never go
Why?
at 1 speed. Never.
The
They
face of bewilderment, if there ever was one. It's very strange that he's so taken aback by such a
Caught in
question,
4P.
especially when you take into account the possible
they're
outcome
so
if he had
dumb.
actually called for help.
One medical expert revealed in the courtroom for the very first time
They're
that
so
following
dumb.
Yardley Love's brutal beating, had George Hughley or anyone else called for help,
Level
she might have
11.
survived.
I didn't think it was like.
How are y'all so
I didn't
dumb?
think that she was like in need of like going to the emergency room. I think
because
she just
you're
got
a king,
pain of
isn't
like.
it?
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I mean,
Did you say when you were, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you were taking her, her head was hitting the wall?
tinge.
well, that was in the beginning. That was initially when I walked in. Like she was like,
You're gonna
"Oh,
be
Corey,
evil,
like,
bro."
Get out of here, like you know.
And you're gonna have
this.
voices in your head.
Like,
At any time when you were shaking her,
And you're gonna
did her
eat people.
head bang the wall?
Put yourself in George's
But you will
position
live
and
forever.
imagine Yardley had in fact self-inflicted her
You'll be
injuries.
pretty lucky.
You would perhaps say
Is
something
that?
along the lines of, absolutely not.
Of course,
I wasn't
bloodlust goes well
hitting her
with
against the
evil
wall,
voices
like-
in your head.
Dude,
she's,
what
like,
the
sitting
fuck?
there in the
Person eater.
corner.
You never
Like,
slayed a
you're
dragon.
like,
Oh,
like
no,
this,
no,
and
no.
Oh my-
And a king.
Wait.
you know, and
This
I
guy's
was
so
like,
stupid.
you're
Maybe he
like,
literally
let's
did not
focus
realize
on
that she
like,
was
that's
actually
such
in need
bullshit
of,
that you like do that,
you know,
like,
emergency
Yeah.
help.
bullshit
This guy's
move, like,
pretty
what-
dumb.
what, like, you know, like, and we're like, what are you like doing, like that?
Falcon
Like,
was like the biggest.
She has a pretty good knot on her head, that's why I'm asking how you can explain how that would have happened.
I mean, I don't even know when that, a knot?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Like on the side of her head, she's been hit pretty good right there. So I'm just trying to figure out, did you hit her with something?
no,
Was that
no,
her
I
getting to the wall?
never touched her or struck her or anything.
I never touched her?
I said never struck her.
Okay. So
Oh my God.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
good.
He's so dumb that he's like, oh no, I never struck her. We all just heard you say touch her. And you didn't correct yourself. And then you corrected her. You could have said, oh, excuse me, I meant to say I never struck her. Because this whole time you've been telling us stories about how you're smacking her head against the wall.
One more time, make sure we're on the same page. So you're pretty pissed at her from a week ago for sending you text messages. Do you have those text messages where she said she, as you put it, fucked somebody?
He was pissed.
I actually might have those.
Alright, you got your phone with you?
Somebody needs something.
Pull it out real quick. Let's see if we can see those.
He
The
thinks
next
this
moment
is
fascinating because it symbolizes.
he thinks he's pulling this out because he thinks this is gonna help him. Like, probably. I assume he thinks like, oh well, you know, like obviously that's why I went over to confront her and like was shaking her. You know what I mean? Like, but meanwhile she's like establishing motive.
I think he thinks.
Sorry, go ahead. What'd you say?
I think he thinks that like saying like, oh, she cheated last week is like justifiable in his actions.
Yeah, no, that's.
I think he doesn't realize he's in trouble. That's how dumb this man is.
Yeah, exactly.
Chain.
That
The interrogator
second
will
pause doesn't
invade his
count.
personal
Yeah, that
space
counts.
to make sure
That's
he's
two
not
extra
deleting
pauses.
No, I was
anything from
doing
his
it.
phone.
It was a courtesy
Soon
pause.
after that, she will take the phone out of his hand and place it on the table. Actions that would be completely unacceptable in almost any other circumstance.
We didn't say them.
They were like, I guess what you call like an ongoing conversation, ongoing like it's a message and it's gone.
Okay.
That's crazy.
All right. Let's talk about how you
Entered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Because to have put your fist through the door.
no,
she
it's
has
actually my
to been
leg. I'm pretty
Is
sure
your leg?
because that's why my leg's like this.
Yeah, you're right. That
Kicked
was your
it.
leg.
Yeah.
How'd you get all the bruising on your hand then?
This is all from lacrosse. This is all.
That's pretty fresh right there. Looks.
This is all from my lacrosse game on Saturday.
On
I mean, I wear my
Saturday.
Stop.
Even right there, I thought you wore those padded gloves.
This is all.
Lacrosse.
Oh
this is
no,
all
what did I
different.
miss?
This is all from
I
lacrosse.
think it's all little men. Hey, they moved in. Look, see, this is what I'm talking about. See the swords? They kill, and those guys, they kill without abandon, or with abandon. Little Springer Dinger, he's a Yorkie. He was sitting outside of his mama's room, because sometimes they don't come in when she goes in there. And she's not gonna wait around all day. I don't blame her. What do these guys do? He's killed 2 people. Usually I go in and kill them. But instead of doing that, I will just give them rewards, you know, for being here. But yeah, sometimes she doesn't let them in because they don't want to go in when she goes in, but then when they get left out, they get real sad. So he was just sitting outside the door whining. So I let him in. Easy as that. Back to freaking George.
He's pulling this out because he thinks this is gonna help him. Like, probably. I assume he thinks like, oh well, you know, like obviously that's why I went over to confront her and like was shaking her. You know what I mean? Like, but meanwhile she's like establishing motive.
Skeletons. We
I
want
think he thinks.
to have weapons.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
What'd you say?
he already
I think he
destroyed.
thinks that like saying like, "Oh, she cheated last week" is like justifiable in his actions.
Yeah, no, that's.
I think he doesn't realize he's in trouble. That's how dumb this man is.
She's getting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Chain.
That
will
second pause doesn't
invade his
count.
personal
Yeah, that
space to
counts.
make sure
That's
he's
two
not
extra
deleting
pauses.
No, I was
anything from
doing
his
it.
phone.
It was a courtesy
Soon
pause.
after that, she will take the phone out of his hand and place it on the table. Actions that would be completely unacceptable in almost any other circumstance.
Is she gonna grab his phone? Because you cannot delete anything.
We didn't say
They were like, I guess what you call like an ongoing conversation, an ongoing like instant message, and it's gone.
A thread.
That's crazy.
All right, let's talk about how you
Entered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not that crazy. I'm glad they pointed that out though, because she just took his phone. It would be unacceptable. He has no idea what's going on. Life just happens in front of him. He just goes, y'all. Hey, you wanna go out for lacrosse, y'all? Hey, George, make sure you fill out your college applications. Y'all, that I will. Can you find someone to do that for me? Yes, George. You need to go to college. Thanks, Dad.
Okay.
That's crazy.
All right, let's talk about
She
how
took his phone.
you
Put
entered.
it.
Yeah.
She's like, don't touch that anymore. That's not yours.
Because to put your
my phone now.
put your
You're a
fist
murderer.
through the door.
no,
She
it's
has
actually
to
my
have
leg. I'm pretty
Your
sure
leg?
because that's why my leg's like this.
Yeah, you're right. That was your leg.
Yeah.
You're
How'd you get all
right.
the
She's
bruising on your
like,
hand?
damn,
This is all
you
from
got me
Chrome.
there. You broke in the locked door. I thought you punched through, but you kicked through. You're right. You got me there, George. You are free to go. This is all from lacrosse. I do believe that. Not scratches, though. Bruises, yes. Scratches, no. I'm sure the little ropes will scratch you, but...
This is all.
That's pretty fresh right there. Looks.
This is all from my.
I am gonna kill those ice guys just
Soldered on.
Stop.
And right there, I thought you wore those padded gloves.
I don't like
This is
it.
all-
Lacrosse.
This is all the difference. This is all from lacrosse. And that's, I got whacked here. I remember 100% got whacked during the game.
Yeah, this is you're going to jail if you're a lax, bro.
When you had her and you're shaking, did she scratch you anywhere?
No,
No.
no.
She's a little
Is it-
girl. She's tiny.
Yeah,
she's
she
not-
is tiny.
She didn't
She didn't
scratch
try to
me.
hit you or anything like that.
No.
Oh my God, he
So
has
you-
no
you
out.
kick in
He
the-
literally, she's giving him an
Yeah,
out.
That's, that's how I got. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I stuck my hand through and unlocked it and went in there.
Oh, that's
And
scary.
It is.
Everything else
She's
was
right.
blue.
The detectives leave the room for
Hold on,
roughly
I'm
3
gonna do-
minutes. When they return, it appears Ed is given the chance to lead with a
Probably
few of his own
gives me a
questions.
bit of
I know we
false
touched about
confidence.
what happened last night.
This guy's gonna
but
suck.
Set it up for me. Leave it up.
I do live in Austin, and we've got a. Can I say that? Yeah, we've got a serial killer out here doing his thing. Why have the chat thing be visible to me, just in case somebody says hello? I just came to say hello. Hello. I don't like the candy gems, whatever they are, buy 'em.
to me a little bit here. Why did you guys break up exactly? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, we are not from the same area.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going, or she wants to move to New York, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing yet, but I'd like to move to San Francisco.
Why'd you take her?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
There's maybe because there's evidence on
their
the
life so
computer
much
emails that you
easier.
sent
No,
her?
there's no. I mean, you can find.
Oh,
literally
that's
all the
terrible.
emails and everything
Wait,
back
what?
and forth.
Detective Ed.
I have no idea.
There's maybe
Why'd you take her
because there's
computer?
evidence on the computer emails that you sent
No,
her?
there's no. I mean, you can find.
Oh,
literally
that's
all the
terrible.
emails and everything back and forth.
That's terrible.
Detective Ed now asks George if he's
Dumbass!
Yardley down on the bed. He's trying to subtly set the grounds for an argument of smothering, which isn't a terrible idea, but would be disproven by the autopsy regardless.
No.
Did you fall down on top of her? You know, rest on
We
the
were
bed?
wrestling on the ground for like a little
Did
bit.
y'all wrestle on the
but
bed at all?
Wrestle.
No,
We
I never
wrestle.
like no, like.
I wonder what that
Yeah,
looked like,
sure.
George.
No, I mean like just kind of hold her down until she calmed down on the bed.
No, if anything that was.
I mean,
if anything that would have been like. on
He's
the
cutting him
floor,
off, too. He
on the
sucks.
floor
Yeah,
when-
this
when
man
you start
detective
bleeding,
is totally
like, wrestling around.
It's got the
Proving
same
that
amount of head injuries that
Pretty
our
good.
boy has
You all
here.
wrestling around?
No.
Alright, now is when we throw the curveball.
No.
How much land we have to work with here?
Actually.
I mean,
Ooh.
if I'm cracking my head in the
Hardly
wall, I'm
any.
just saying, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
There's some.
No, I mean, she was not screaming.
Yeah.
She should have been. Probably. I mean,
What?
maybe.
What?
She should have been. Probably. I mean, maybe.
I forgot.
don't know.
Even she.
I don't know. I mean, well, she was screaming when I
She's
first like,
screaming.
came into the room.
She
was,
should
"No,
have
like,
been.
I'm not
She-
talking to
I
you."
don't know. She might not have been able to. I
But,
might have been
like,
covering her mouth or something. But man,
At
I
any
would have been
point
if I was her.
Before you said
Jeez.
you, and this was your words, you said you tossed her on the bed, and then you left.
Yeah.
All right, at any point before that, did she lose
Crow,
consciousness?
dude.
No.
Okay. What happened after you tossed her on the bed? Did she move? Talk about, say something?
I mean, I literally tossed her and then turned around and
Tossed her on the ground or tossed her
on
on
the
the bed?
bed and
Tossed her on the
walked
bed.
out the door.
Okay. So when you tossed her back on the bed, in your mind, she was bleeding? But you said she was bleeding out her nose, and you didn't feel like you needed to call
Okay.
rescue?
No.
How do we make the most OP gang? What do we give them? Enchanted? I don't know enough about this game. I know there's so many cool things you can do, but I haven't taken the time to learn about them. To me, this is fun though. I like world building and watching things grow. Just like this person. She likes to watch the grass grow. Let's put her there. Yeah. And let's put her friend over there. Maybe this is how we make them OP. By just putting a bunch of like mages and druids and I don't know. Gotta be orcs though, cause who do the dwarves hate? Orcs don't like humans. The elves don't like orcs. Nobody cares about the dwarves. I thought the elves. Yeah, we gotta go elves, cause they're the best. Alright. Gotta think about this strategically. We do want to play, just very slowly. And then we've got our guys here, the biggest group. Oh no, we can't give time to the what do you call them? To the dwarfs to move in. Ancient Yudernarati. Sometimes I hate these names.
After that, after banging her head and
No,
shaking her and blood coming out her nose on the floor.
No. There's nothing about like.
You missed anything that no one asking right now?
There's nothing about like going to
She's
get
like,
anything.
you just told us
You know?
everything.
I don't know why I took the computer.
George rambles about why there was no reason for taking the laptop for another 20 seconds, during which time Detective Reeves decides that enough information has been attained. Phase 2 is now complete, and the fate of Yardley is about to be revealed. These moments in interrogations are considered important for the purpose of gauging a suspect's response. It's believed that a sharp and sudden revelation can make it difficult to fabricate emotion. So in theory, this will cause a suspect to provide either a genuine response or a relatively obvious disingenuous response, which often comes in the pretense of shock or remorse.
I mean, I guess that's where my logic was at, but that was,
Why are my people disappearing occasionally?
Well, I have to tell you
I think I know why you took the computer.
In the midst of what would have been a flawlessly executed moment, Detective Ed jumps back into the laptop mystery. The suspect has essentially confessed to murder. This really wasn't the time for regurgitated conjecture over a petty theft misdemeanor, which Ed was clearly being advised of once again through nonverbal communication.
All over that laptop. He's like, laptop. Did you? That thing's worth over $500.
She's dead.
That's a Class B misdemeanor.
You killed her, George.
Oh, we gotta watch this again.
You alright?
Go ahead.
No?
Are you
She's
done?
dead.
She's dead. Look at his face.
You killed her, George.
You killed her, George. He doesn't believe it.
Throw Ed in jail too, honestly.
Killed her.
dead.
I think you knew that already.
No, I did not.
And then he looks down. Look
In
at
our
him,
opinion, George is being...
Throw Ed in jail too, honestly.
Dead.
Before I hear their...
Throw Ed in jail too.
I want to get mine. It honestly looks like... Right there, it looks like he doesn't have a care in the world. But it's sinking in very slowly through that thick-ass skull. It's been hit in the head with a lacrosse ball one too many times.
Honestly.
She's dead.
She's dead, and then he looks down. What's he looking down at? Not his phone.
I think you knew that already.
No, I did not.
He quickly...
In our opinion...
A non-contracted denial. No, I did not. The behavior panel specialty. Non-contracted denial. Say, I didn't. Old people say, I didn't kill that man. No, I did not. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I did not.
George is being truthful here, and
yeah.
you believe the interrogator feels the same way in this moment.
I think I agree. He just didn't know how to respond because it's still sinking in that she's not alive.
I don't think he fucking.
I don't think he knew.
No.
Yeah, he's so fucking stupid. I think he's being truthful.
Yeah.
How the fuck is she dead?
Because you killed her, George.
How the fuck is she dead?
Because you killed her.
George appears to be going through a delayed response. It's so foreign a revelation that it's yet to sink in. Once the shock settles, he refuses to accept it, and this denial appears to be a momentary coping mechanism before the reality of the situation truly hits him, which will happen at this time in the footage.
Breakdown. Here it comes.
She's dead?
Yes.
She's dead.
Yes.
She's dead.
She's dead.
How? How?
I already told you how. You already told us how as well.
I told you how you broke in and killed
Oh my god.
Or you slammed her head against the fucking wall. Like, yeah, that's how she's dead.
This guy is...
What an idiot.
Yeah.
You went in there to talk with her, but it got out of control, right, George?
The detectives will now add further pressure to keep him talking. Suspects will often divulge information in these moments in the panicked attempt to save themselves, and in doing so can
they're
shut
trying to do
down
good
the
cop, bad
multiple
cop, but it's
storyline
literally
they haven't
like
caught up yet.
good cop, bad cop, skill-wise.
Kicking her to work. She started to fight with you. You punched her in the head, or you cracked.
She's not dead.
Why are some people just disappearing in a blink of light?
She is.
She's not
I ain't BSing you right now. It's serious.
Oh, it's the
I want to
mage.
see her.
George,
gotta
look
kill
at
the
me.
George.
She is dead.
You were
How
not
do you
here to
get
dance
over
with us.
there?
You're here because she's dead.
How'd you get over there, bud?
The alcohol.
I don't believe it. I don't believe
It's
it.
true.
Dude, I didn't. I don't believe that she's dead.
How did you?
I don't believe that she's dead.
How
I
was she-
don't believe that she's
Did
dead.
you punch her? Did you hit her?
How? There's no way she's dead. She's not dead. I never did anything. I didn't.
Well, okay, Mr. Detective, this guy here, George, he has the vocabulary of like a first grader. I'm not that much better, but him banging his head against the wall was telling you that was his admission. He's not going to be able to verbalize it because his lacrosse skull is pushing on his brain. There's no room for the synapses and the dendrites and the whatever. Him banging his head against the wall was his admission. You're not gonna get him to be like, well, detective, you see, I wasn't in my right mind and I took the laptop because I wanted to No, he has no idea what he's saying. He's just gonna, well, this is where he freaks out.
I did not.
All right, let's calm down.
I did not hurt her. Like she's not dead.
Just out of protocol, what we gotta do is stand up for you. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back for me.
Relax. It's all right.
This is when he realizes he's
You
in trouble.
cannot relax when you're handcuffed, okay? That's fucking bullshit.
Please.
Yes, you can,
Please tell me she's
Hassan.
not dead.
Relax.
Please, will you tell me
You
she's
know what?
not
I wish
dead?
I could tell you that.
Hassan, does not like cops. So he will always jump to defending not necessarily the criminal, but like the process. These mages are going to town on this little island over here. Why? They can teleport. That's what they're doing. Why are they teleporting over here? What was I saying? Oh yeah, Hassan. What he just said there was loaded. Because he said you can't relax when you're being handcuffed or in handcuffs. I don't remember what he said. But you absolutely can. But he's just saying that because there's so many people who are get arrested for tensing up. Like obstruction of justice or resisting a police officer because they were tensing up. So I'm sure Hassan argues a lot that of course they're gonna tense up, they're being... Wait, how does Hassan sound? Of course they're gonna tense up, pigs. But no, as someone who has worn handcuffs more than once, just for fun, I can tell you, you can absolutely relax with them on. They're not comfortable. But you put your arms behind your back. It's not comfortable. But you absolutely don't have to tense up. He really doesn't like street cops, beat cops. He seems to like detectives, though. Especially Jim Smith. Well, who doesn't like Jim Smith? And I need to watch some more videos of this Texas Ranger guy. Johnny? What's his name? He's pretty famous now. Maybe we'll watch that next. Me and the 5 viewers who stopped in. Thank you for stopping in. Seriously. That's typically, I usually have 0, 1, or 2 in my views, and now there are 5. I like it. I'm not going for ninja here. I'm just trying to be more what is it called? Work on my social skills. As Bobby Boucher's mama would say, he doesn't have what you call the social skills. Well, mine aren't bad. I just need to work on my speaking voice, because I'm trying to do voiceover stuff. Just stuff, work you can do from home, you know? I've always been a very anxious dude. Well, not always, but since I was like 16. And you can hear it in my voice. It's like very unsure. It's like I've been kowtowing my whole life. I can hear it in my voice and I don't like it. So I'm trying to, talk to myself more and more. And it's actually been really healthy for me, for my mental health. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I like to play this game in Farming Simulator, but Farming Simulator is more of like a production if I want to stream it. And I want to stream just to, just to log some streaming hours so that eventually, later, I will have some content for y'all. Right now I'm just getting the hang of OBS, iMovie, Audacity, QuickTime, all this jazz that I'm just getting the hang of. So that's why you see random streams and random videos. There is another channel I have, but I got this iPad. My dad is a champion. Should have disowned me multiple times over. But he always gives me chances to redeem myself. Or at least he just doesn't disown me. He doesn't expect much from me. But he seems genuinely happy to be back in my life, and I'm genuinely happy to be able to talk to him, you know? It's cool, especially because, I am so like him. We're so similar. It's scary. We sound similar. We're starting to look more and more. We look alike. He's my dad, you know? And I think we could understand each other more than anyone else on this earth, probably. If we, stay connected. Which I hope we do. That ball's usually in my court. I don't know if y'all know much about me, but I'll just come right out and say it. I am a drug addict. Painkillers started when I was 16. 16. Whenever I got my wisdom teeth pulled, I realized I really loved painkillers. And one of my buddies, I remember we were at the park, and he shows me this Ziploc bag full of all these Watsons. hydrocodone. And I was off. I was done. I loved it. And then those got to where it started off, they were like $2 a piece. And then they got to like $7 a piece. And so you go the typical route. You get the stronger stuff. That is way more dangerous. And you use things you never thought you would use to get that extra bit, you know? So I've been a pretty shit son for my entire life. I'm almost 40. Yeah. Life is hard, man. It's like a intricate game of avoiding pain. And some people are well suited for it. Not by luck or happenstance, but because they prepared themselves. And I did not. I was too caught up in the afterlife to focus on life. Or at least that's my excuse, you know? No, but I really did believe, like, what's the point of, like, this life? Because I'm just gonna go to heaven. I just need to focus on that. Like, this life doesn't matter. And in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't. But I want it to be at least not miserable. And for that, you need to have money. And to have money, you need to not be a drug addict. You need to be functional, and you need to not waste 75% of all of your lifetime income on substances. What happened? What? Did a meteorite come or something? I gotta kill these these guys. 'Cause they're portaling too much. Like, what the... Sorry.
That George, 22-year-old,
I was saying
22, and her life is done.
I got off on a tangent. You can relax. Oh, he definitely didn't know. It's all hitting him right now. Oh my gosh. I absolutely don't feel one shred of sympathy for this guy. I don't know why. I feel like he's just had such an easy life. But I don't know the guy. It's just the vibe I get. And he's so stupid. He's like, I was shaking her. I was like, Yardley. Like, just, we have to talk about this. And she's like, get the hell out of my house. You kicked my door down, you stupid. I don't want to call him anything other than just a moron. He's not. He's just dumb. Alright, sorry.
Oh, it's so sad.
It's not sad. Why are you sad?
No way, there's no way, there's no way. I do not believe it. I do not believe
Also,
it.
classic cop moment. Let's calm him down by handcuffing him.
No way, there's no way she could be dead.
No way she could be dead. There's no way.
God.
He doesn't notice. He doesn't deny the head trauma.
Yeah.
What was she doing the last time you saw her?
She was like
She was like a fish on water.
Standing up with it. She was standing up with me, looking at me.
They seem to like this
She was
island.
standing up, looking at me. Oh,
I think I got the vast majority of them.
I know. Oh,
I wish somebody could was in here so they could tell me what this thing is.
It did not. It didn't. And she's like, no, get away from me. You have to leave, you have to leave. I was
What
like
is
a
this
little bit
thing?
persistent.
Is this like a...
Screaming?
She should have been. I didn't kill her and leave. I didn't just... Oh my God. I didn't kill her. I did not kill her. I did not kill her.
It's like one of those things in ancient Egyptian times where they used it as like a pulley system. That's what it looks like, at least. How did I not?
I want a lawyer. I don't believe this. I don't believe this.
Valkyrie.
No,
Don't.
no
Why
way.
does she feel bad for him?
There's no way. There's no fucking way.
Solidarity,
So
man. Whoa.
Can I
Not
talk to
grass,
someone?
rain.
Who do you want to talk to?
Anyone. A lawyer.
One will get appointed to you.
Okay, what do I do now? Go to jail?
Yeah.
What?
All right, George, right now, I know
This
you're,
is like-
you no one want to talk to us, that's fine, just let you know something. We're working on a search warrant right now, and what it is,
It's like,
is we're gonna
will I
have to
go to
collect
jail?
some stuff from you,
Yeah.
like what's called a buckle swab.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I get a ride home?
She wasn't screaming
No,
because she
you're
was
going to
dead?
jail.
No.
Wait.
She wasn't dead,
What?
actually.
But I didn't go to
Like,
court.
that's kind of an important part
Dad
of this,
didn't
is that
give me
if
my
he
lawyer.
had called
Why did you guys come
911, she would have survived.
I think he's
I don't
right.
understand anything about an assault.
I think he's right.
She could have been saved, but she probably was like
To
so
indicate
severely
if someone
concussed and having
investigates
internal
someone.
bleeding
I think he's right.
Do you want me to contact for you, George?
from the head trauma.
At the start of this
Hassan.
video, you were asked
What?
to think of what you would
think
do
he's
in
right.
this
Just pause the video.
situation.
Oh, now
Really
you-
try and imagine what
Just
would be
pause
going
it.
through.
And
Now-
I know
now you
you're
want me to pause
trying-
it.
You just don't want to rack
I
up your
never
pause
know.
counter. Be honest. Just pause
Okay, well,
it.
you
and
paused
just
it
say
last
what you have
time.
to
That was a
say.
year. You paused.
Turtles don't have paws. They have hooves. That was probably one of the funniest moments in my life. My friend, I think we were freshmen. Because we would skip first period and go over to my friend's house. He lived right across the street from the school. And we were all playing Halo as we did. And one of my friends kind of looked like a turtle, a little bit. And one of my other friends was just really funny. Really just, he would just say whatever came to his mind, and it was usually pretty funny. He ended up being real successful. Like, he's a great soccer player, a great cornerback. And he ended up being like the strength and conditioning coach at SMU. I think he's probably still doing that if he's not doing something, if he hasn't moved up. He probably will one day, but we were playing Halo, and my friend who kind of looks like a turtle was saying, like, push pause. And my other friend just right away said, turtles don't have paws, they have hooves. And we all just died laughing. Turtles don't have paws. Push pause. Turtles don't have paws. They have hooves.
Paused it, and then I accidentally unpaused it. So that was you.
So every
You
time
paused
I
it.
do the word pause,
I can't
every
hear,
time.
and also I can't hear you either. And just pause it. If you want to say something, just pause it.
It's like the opposite of what pause means these days. I don't think gay, I think turtles. Which is pretty gay. I'm just kidding. Sorry, folks.
Okay. Well.
All right, and also every time you talk, that's an extra pause for your.
That's great. Okay, we're just making
like
rules up as we go along. That's bullshit.
Hooves.
Anyway, we're gonna rewind 10 seconds.
We need to give
And what were you saying?
the elves more land.
And I don't even remember what I was saying,
look.
so it doesn't even matter because.
Look. The dwarves are so dumb that seriously, they're like George. Yeah. They're already almost caught. Oh my gosh, they're level 19. And the most advanced of the dwarves is 27 by far. And then second is the brand new. Look, they're 118 years old. These guys are 260 years old. A good 80-year head start. They're idiots. Oh, is this because I gave them the king who was Garurugig. How do I go? Where is Garurugig? Oh, a meteor just fell out of the sky. Let's see what came from it. That stuff. Did anyone? Very cool. I like when that stuff happens. Wait, what was I gonna do? I wanted to find out who the king of Duhudrum was. Where is it? Guskalum Digaldar. It's gone. It's gone. Wait. Oh, I was looking at cultures. Garurudig. That's a culture. It's not anything but.
You just kind of cut me off there a little bit. It's fine, but
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
no, it's okay. But yes, no, I do like pausing.
Wonder
okay?
how many times.
Yeah. Just
Hassan
As you might just
and-
gain a restorative outlook from both knowing the answer while not having to answer this particular question. But there is, of course, no possible way you will gain anything close to the newfound perspective George has acquired in this moment, which unfortunately for him is no longer of use.
I'm sorry, I just ruined your and all those people on the boat. And you got visitors coming from the south.
I don't know about that.
Sometime.
What's your mom's name?
They're only 118.
What's her number?
33 and 86.
How?
Did you want me to call your dad? Just her.
What? Yardley. Oh my girl.
I don't believe it. There's no way.
He didn't know. He did not know she was dead.
I legit believe. I believe it. Like I think he's just a
too.
fucking idiot. I mean, he's abusive. He's a murderer, and I legitimately believe that he did not think he murdered her until
think
this
he's
moment.
so stupid.
He's insanely dumb.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
These next few moments are a turning point. The leg irons seem to initiate a shift in his constitution, and his denial will completely
Why
cease
are they
from this
putting
point
leg
forward. He will
irons on
continue
him?
to ask why
Oh,
and
I
how,
guess they
but
do
he
that
will
to
no longer
mostly
reject the
everybody.
severity of what is happening.
I think they mostly do that to everybody when they're transferring them.
Yeah, maybe don't break into someone's house and keep trying to talk to them when they say no.
Easy.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
Or shake
that
them.
easy.
or fucking slam their head against the wall.
Yeah,
It is just
that too.
that.
Another thing that I was thinking of is like he might have even done this. He might have been abusive like this in the past as well, which is part of the reason why he was like so surprised that this time he ended up killing her. You know what I mean?
Am I gonna do the rest
Yep.
of my life? In this room? No, in jail. Okay.
Well, I mean,
Because like, there's no way you just like pop off one time and start fucking.
Never said you were, bud.
That's someone who is comfortable being abusive with their partner.
I'm sorry. You call my mom? No,
he's like, I'm not gonna do that.
That was when you need your family the most, but. Yeah.
What? He really is so stupid.
Also, wild. I don't feel like. Oh, I was gonna say I feel like he has no remorse, but
George
I guess
was
he
taken
does.
to the regional jail soon
was
after
so
this moment. He would go on
sad.
to plead not guilty to
Why was
murder
that
and was
sad? Malky, come on.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel like he has no remorse, but
George
I guess
was
he
taken
does.
to the regional jail soon
was
after
so
this moment. He would go on
sad.
to plead not guilty to murder and was held without bond for almost 2 years awaiting trial. It began on February 6, 2012.
Well, testimony is
Why
now
would you
underway
plead
in the
not
murder
guilty?
trial.
He pled not guilty to murder because they charged him with murder instead of like manslaughter or something. So he thought, or his lawyers thought, that they could. Maybe the deal was like 35 years with parole, or 20 years with parole after 20 years. They're like, no way, we're not taking that deal. Because you have to prove that it, oh shoot. That's the wrong button. Wrong thing. You have to prove that, dang, sorry guys, that he intended to go over there to end her life. Actually, you probably don't have to prove that. Because that would be first degree murder. This is probably like second degree. What's going on here? Why are you surviving? Y'all are whooping ass. Are you coming to the tree? It's John man. They say he murdered 3. Strange things have happened here, no stranger could it be. Ooh, I want to text my dad and ask him for money. I just remembered that I'm sorry, Bubs. I freaked out more than I should have. I really want to buy a guitar. Because I can play the guitar. And it'd be good to put some background music to some of my videos. Or just play guitar, you know. For the dogs and me.
Of the former UVA lacrosse player accused of killing his ex-girlfriend.
For the first time.
I'm gonna pause again. You know, they never use fucking bad photos in these situations too. Like they always use like a good photo, like a vanity photo when it's like a rich kid like this. You know what I mean? Always.
Rich kid. He means rich white.
We have video of Hughley as he was led into the courtroom.
Contrary to his appearance in the days that followed his arrest for the murder of 22-year-old Yardley
And
Love,
then
he appeared pale, frail, and gaunt.
The prosecution presented a case that Hughley went to Love's apartment that night, busted through her bedroom door, and in some way struck her, causing blunt force trauma, which led to her death.
We've also learned that on that night, George Hughley was exchanging what were described as playful text messages with 3 other women. Those messages continued late into the night, and even
he's a piece of shit. He's so mad at this girl for cheating on him when they were not even together. Mad enough to break into her house, kick down her door, bash her head up against the wall, wrestle with her on the floor, toss her onto the bed, bash her head against the wall some more, tell her we need to talk, and all the while she's telling him to get out, when he's so pissed that she cheated on him and they weren't even together, while he's flirting with 3 other girls. He obviously doesn't care for her. He just is infatuated with her. Like, you know, high school flings, you get crazy. You think you love somebody, you just don't realize that you are sexually charged with a bunch of testosterone and you're infatuated with this one piece. It's unbelievable, honestly. He's so dumb.
Even after the alleged attack.
Throughout this trial, Hughley has sat expressionless.
Ew.
He would have had such a great life, too. It's like you can just be dumb and confident, and you are set. Tell you what, he doesn't struggle with anxiety, overthinking. This land was made for him.
Stoic at the defense table. All of that.
And this motherfucker was like already trying to move on, and oh my god, bro. Okay, listen.
Well, they were both cheating on each other. Like,
okay,
he literally acted on his emotions, and it's like big baby when he doesn't get his way, but he's such a
I know,
bitch,
but
so
but
mad.
you don't just abusive relationships develop over the course of a long period of time oftentimes, and it ends up piling on top of one another. It's like here and there. First it's yelling. Maybe the first time you establish physical contact is like you know, an escalation, right? You don't go from 0 to 100, which is why I said originally that he definitely must have been popping off on her. He was so callous, I would say, when describing, like, literally just domestic abuse and assault before he found out that she was dead, which means that, like, he has a level of familiarity with said assault. He has a level of comfort with, like, both describing the assault and also engaging in it. So I'm fairly certain that this is probably a routine offense, which is why he was so shocked as well, because he's like, oh, well, it didn't happen the prior times that I fucking hit her. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my suspicion.
I think you're right.
My second suspicion is that he will get he will get like affluenza style lighter charges than you normally would in this circumstance.
Affluenza, I
changed
remember
today
that guy.
as this police interview was airing. Hughley
ugly.
began crying, was often pinching the bridge of his nose with his hands and looking down as he listened to the sound of his own hysterical voice. I did not kill her. I did not kill her. I did not. I did not.
In court Tuesday, Hughley's defense faced an uphill climb.
The most riveting testimony came from former UNC lacrosse player Michael Burns, who testified that one time while visiting UVA, he heard some yelling for help from Hughley's apartment. When he opened the door, he said he found Hughley with his arm wrapped around Love's neck, choking her. Hughley then let her go, and she ran out of the room crying.
A variety of medical experts took the stand this Wednesday, and they all seemed to agree that Love's death was the result of blunt force trauma to the head. This was followed by highly distressing witness testimony from Yardley's neighbors.
The noise was so loud, this was such a violent death that they heard it downstairs.
Oh my god, that's Kimberly Guilfoyle. What the fuck? That's crazy. Sorry, that's the
Trump son, the oldest one. I think he's the oldest one. What's his name? Don Jr.? Is that it? That's his wife. And another thing, I cannot believe that Newsmax was I right about Newsmax stock? Was it Newsmax? Holy downs. Why did I look at this and it is down 72% today. What? Oh, they just had their IPO, their initial public offering, which was, I don't know how to read these things. Yeah, so the IPO just made it go, and then it just goes. Newsmax, what was the other channel? Was that the one that I texted my dad about? It's in the notes. No. Where? DJ, where did I put that? You're blind, but can you help me read this? I told him something about, I was listening to a Christian radio station because the lady that I'm caretaking for listens to it in the car, and they like have money, like financial advice, like how to invest in a way that honors God. And of course, one of the people who called in was asking about Newsmax stock. But I'm trying to see if it was Newsmax or there's that other channel, not One America Network News. Isn't there another one? Not the Daily Wire. Maybe it had to have been Newsmax. What the heck? That was a text, wasn't it? Strange things have happened, and stranger would it be. Well, anyways, she's like, well, we're not gonna invest in Newsmax, but generally those communications, like TV, those groups we don't invest in because they don't honor the Lord.
California Governor Gavin Newsom's wife that is now married to Donald Trump Jr.
Big time.
That's crazy.
It's
What's
unrelated
that?
to
Two pauses, plus 2 pauses for that
Okay,
one.
well, I mean,
As
I'm
long
running
as
out the
Trump
clock. It's
does.
like it's already. We got like
Probably
3 minutes
not.
left. You know what I mean? And also on top of that, you don't have to hear this part because viewers at YouTube don't experience this, but it's the top of the hour, so I'm gonna run a 3-minute ad break.
I'm truly flabbergasted by the state of this country right now. It's it is It's embarrassing.
Oh, we can't relate.
No, we can keep going through it because if they want an uninterrupted broadcast experience, all they need to do is subscribe, which they could do for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime, or by getting gifted a sub. Here's
this is all John.
And it sounded like a stereo crashing
Wait,
to the
that's
ground.
messed up. You can't play the video while half your audience.
Jim Clyburn. Representative Jim Clyburn. I think that's his name. Or John. Jim or John Clyburn. The Kingmaker. Whenever Bernie and Pete and Andrew were all running in the primaries, the Kingmaker, Jim Clyburn, told everyone to back out so Joseph Biden could be the primary winner and therefore the Democratic nominee. And that truly fucked us. Because that man got old fast. Trump, for all the drugs I assume he's taken, he's aging really well. But I mean, literally all he cares about is optics. So if he didn't look great for his age, he wouldn't go on the TV.
He's watching ads.
It's not half my audience. Luckily, most of my audience is subscribed already. So
he go out and play golf.
We should wait for them.
Okay.
That's crazy. There's only 2 minutes.
Pink, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
Then do a photo op real quick and then get back on his regimen of.
Yeah, there's more people who are subscribed to my audience than not, and they're mad now.
I think he goes as crazy on the Adderall as JFK did. Obviously, Hitler. But JFK was a big time amphetamine fan. He's like, why wouldn't I take this? It makes me focused, it gives me energy, and I'm only going to be the president for 8 years tops. I can run Top Fuel for 8 years when they need me the most. How far into his presidency was he when he was shot in Dealey Plaza? I don't know. November 22, 1963. What's today's date? 25? So 25, 37. What does that look like? Kamala Harris. 62. Is that divisible by 4? Seems like it. 13 times 4? No, that's 52. So was he 2 years into his presidency? Huh. I don't want to say it in a mean way, so. How long was JFK president? I guess it's 2 years. 2 years, 10 months, 2 days, so 3 years, basically. Dang, man. So he was kind of running for re-election, and people in Dallas loved him. It really changed everything. But had he been, well, had he continued on as president, which I'm sure he would have won a second term, the world would look much different today. I don't know how. It's interesting to think about, though. I always wanted to finish Stephen King's book. Not like finish reading it, but put an ending to it. I can't remember how it ends. Like, he sees a future where he saves JFK, and it's terrible. Like, it's basically communist, where people live in the gutters. But I can't remember if that's how it ends. I think he just goes back to be with Sadie. He's like, well, if all this stuff is if it's not gonna help, I'm gonna go back and save what's his name from his dad, and save Sadie from that crazy guy, John, who sleeps with a ruler in the bed or something. The ruler, or a broom between them in the bed, because he thought sex was filthy, impure. Sadie's mom loved him. That doesn't look anything like him. Is that him?
Continuing with the.
Oh,
with the
okay,
nice
okay.
water
You're
jug,
right.
though.
I'm sorry. We
Alright.
gotta cater to the payers.
Sketch.
Yeah, exactly.
Jury knew that she was alive for 2 hours before she died, indicating that if George Hughley
Okay,
had
the
come to
stream
his
is about
senses,
to
he could have gone
end.
back there, called 911, and possibly saved her life.
Still, the driving argument for the defense is that George Hughley never intended to kill. They say this was all
That's what I'm
a
saying.
tragic accident, that he does
Yeah,
not
he intended to
deserve
bruise,
a life
you know?
sentence, but
Fuck
instead
her up a little bit,
lesser
not kill.
charge
Come on.
and a second chance.
He killed
Guilty
her,
of second-degree murder. and
Thank you,
going
Dean
to
Beamy,
sentence
for the
momentarily.
A 26-year prison.
If he had been abusing her before, like if this was a common thing, and it sounds like it was, because one of his friends admitted to him hearing Yardley screaming help while George was choking her, and then she ran out of the room crying. So obviously he had hurt her before. So if you go with intent, if you break in and you hurt someone and they end up dying, I don't think you have to go there with intent to kill them. If you go there with intent to injure them and they end up dying, I think that's like second-degree murder, right? 26-year prison. Yeah, I was gonna say 20, 25.
Prison term came down.
George Hughley was brought to court to hear
What
his
an
lawyers
idiot.
plead for the judge to cut in half the 26-year sentence recommended by the jury. Judge Edward Hogshire did trim it back, but by just 3 years.
The jury in this case recommended 26 years. The judge changed it to 23. Probably a small difference, but why would he do that?
No,
It's surprising, isn't it?
Yeah,
Considering this
why
is a
would he
woman
do
who was
that?
beaten to death in her own bed.
We think that George was convicted of a crime inconsistent with the facts, and he received a penalty inconsistent with what the evidence would require.
There are no winners in this case.
With credit for the time that George Hughley has already served in jail, and if
20
he gets
years.
time off for good behavior, he could be out in 18 years. And the family for Yardley Love has put out this statement.
Could be out way
saying,
sooner than
we
that,
find no
honestly.
joy in other sorrow. We are relieved to put this chapter behind us.
As
That
for
is.
George, he was incarcerated at the maximum security Augusta Correctional Center for 10 years, and has since been transferred to a prison work camp in Richmond, where he's expected to serve out the rest
He's
of
a
his sentence.
slave.
The present consensus in the media
Fucking-
is that
he
George
got sent
had
to the
no
gulag.
intention of killing Yardley, but that his 23-year sentence is still appropriate, if not lenient, and that him being drunk to any degree at the time of the murder is not an excuse, nor
Oh,
does it
hell
lessen
no.
the culpability of his actions
Never.
to any extent. He'll be released at the age of 45, meaning he will have the second chance at life Yardley was never afforded.
Yep.
You can decide for yourself.
Like, seriously, it's like a blessing almost for him. Because he was going to do something stupid. Hey, what the fuck is Mark Carl doing now? I think Mark Jacobs. I initially thought Mark Jacobs. It's Carl Jacobs, who strangely kind of looks like him in this picture. A bunch of girls are going to be mailing this dude, and he's going to get out with a cult following, and he'll be a celebrity, and he'll get married right away to someone he's been pen pals with in prison. Oh my gosh. It seriously is like a blessing in disguise for this cat. That's insane.
Whether he deserves it or not.
A comforting prospect to this tragedy is the nonprofit
I mean, he got hit with a
The
decent
One Love Foundation
penalty,
carries
which is
extremely important
surprising.
messages, both on social psychology and preventative education.
I did not think that he would get.
When he gets out. In the description of this video.
I thought he would get less than that. I thought he would get less than that. There have been instances of like sexual assault, especially where like a person of that background will end up, you know, having their sentence reduced dramatically, for sure. Also, Ray, Carl is in the building right now. Carl Jacobs is here.
Carl.
Hi, Ray. It's me, Carl. Can you hear me?
Wait, is that Carl?
It's me, Ray.
Carl, is that you?
It's.
I do like the idea that asteroids, when they come with rare minerals or metals, like in real life. That's what I'm talking about, the real life. It's cool that in real life that happens. And that gold, I think, isn't gold like not like a naturally occurring thing on Earth? Well, obviously it's naturally occurring, but wasn't it just like deposited from meteors? Is that where all gold comes from? I think so. They're like gold mines and hit the main vein. Load, the mother lode. But it's not like quartz or something. It's like dropped off by comets. Not comets, meteors. The comet is in the sky. A meteor falls out of the sky. Through the atmosphere. It's crazy how much our atmosphere protects us. Oh, there's another one. Where was this one? There. Put out the fire. Oh boy.
It's
Hi,
me,
Carl.
Ray.
Hey,
It's
Bernie.
me, Carl.
Carl, I see you out in the hallway every day when I walk past that iPad on the wall.
Oh. You can tell that Ray's rich because the house that she lives at has a bunch of iPads all over the walls.
All right, goodbye, Carl.
Yeah, exactly.
I have iPads on my wall. That's awkward.
You heard me.
No.
So I just took a picture with one and then had that.
I wonder what's going on with
Yeah, it's quite lovely.
with
All right,
that.
have fun playing It Takes Two.
Everybody, thank you to Valkyrie for duo queuing this react with us.
Let's look at our.
Surely there'll be another one soon, right?
Yeah, and also go bother her about doing Poppy Playtime.
What do you mean? I'm down to do it.
Which we were supposed to do.
When?
We're supposed to do it eventually.
One
you tell me when.
kingdom with 1,500 people.
All right, bye. Have a good stream.
100 soldiers.
Bye.
Thank God the girls are gone. Am I right?
Dude,
it's like somebody
boys rule.
Yes. Boys.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Get rid of this.
That's what I'm freaking talking about. Okay. Also, big shout out to JCS. They did it again. The boys over at JCS. Jim can't swim. Holy.
Yeah, JCS. The GOAT. The original, the OG, and the GOAT. They probably weren't the OG though. They probably got. They came off the back of some older, like VHS recorder of true crime, like Tom Green in his basement. But they refined it and made it very popular with good content. They chose the best. That was the key to their success. They chose the best cases. Stephanie Lazarus, Colonel Russell Williams, the guy, the cook from the Bonefish Grill. Well, that one's really sad, honestly. I hate how they always blame drug addicts. It's like she was a drug addict, so I killed her. It's like, what? You're a dumbass, so I can kill you? What else did they do? Colonel Russ, Stephanie Lazarus. They just picked the best cases. I think I have it turned on Creative Commons still. Oh yeah, Casey Anthony, War Machine, Jodi Arias, Nicholas Cruz, can't remember his name, Lyra Darte, Dahlia. She hired a police officer to kill her husband. She hired an undercover police officer to kill her husband. And they said they actually went through with it. And the police did a whole tableau, not a tableau, but a whole scene where it's like your husband was killed, was shot. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And then they're like, no, we're just kidding. He's here. We know what you did. She's like, come here, baby, come here. Let me convince you it's all okay. This guy is the biggest piece of shit that they filmed. Michael Rafferty. Oh, I'd love to meet that guy. I love it. This guy is just weird as shit. Chris Watts, we all know him. Sarah Boone, one of the last videos. I think Yardley's was one of the last ones. Michael Draca, yeah. This idiot. Force multiplier. You know what a force multiplier is. No, sir, I do not. Well, it's, something that multiplies your force. Like a gun or a stick. Jennifer, she's the one who, she wasn't as smart as her parents wanted her to be, and she wanted to hang out with her drug dealer boyfriend. And so she had her drug dealer boyfriend and his friends kill both of her parents. Only the father survived to be a witness against her. And there's Colonel Russ. Ooh, I never saw this one. Wonder which one's Andy B. Oh. What's his name? Grant Amato. Grant Amato and Sylvie. Man, this shows you how much I watch this stuff. Jeff, he's awesome. They talk about him being the anti-hero. He is detoxing off of heroin the whole time he's in there. I'm surprised he's not freezing. She's crazy. She murdered her ex-boyfriend's new wife or new girlfriend. I think it was his wife. And she got away with it for so long because she's a police officer. And DNA got your ass. Michael Dunn, this idiot, he's just racist. He doesn't like that thug music. And this is so strange to me that 21 million people have watched this. I don't want to ever watch this again. I don't want to watch someone being falsely accused. It's not satisfying. This is her telling Chris Watts, if you are guilty, you shouldn't be here right now. It'd be really stupid for you to be here right now if you did this. So thank you for being here. He is pretty dumb. So yeah, I think I've seen all of them except that one. Something B, Ron B, Andy B. Alright, I'm out of here. Peace out. I wasn't recording.